Hi everyone, my name is Becca and welcome back to my channel. First off, I know that the lighting isn't the best, but it's rainy and crappy outside and so there's no sun. And this is the only day I could do this video. So yeah, we're gonna have to work without that. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a cut right above my lip and yeah, it's very noticeable, at least to me. So yeah. Alright, so on with the video. We're about a couple weeks into the month of May, so it's time for my middle of the month wrap up for May. Yeah. So this month has been really good so far. I don't know how it's going to be for the rest of the month, but so far it's been really good. The rest of the month I am kind of busy. I do have a lot of things planned for the end of the month, so I don't know how much video I'm going to get done for that, but the first couple weeks have been amazing. Yeah. Okay, so I read 7 books in the first 2 weeks. This is really great. I've also DNF'd 2. It's just, yeah, we're going to have to get into those. Okay, so yeah, for the first 2 books I'm going to talk about are the 2 that I have DNF'd, and that is Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian, as well as American Panda by Gloria Chow. These are both contemporary romance. This one is about a Taiwanese girl who skips a grade and is in college at MIT, and she meets a Japanese boy, falls in love with him pretty much, but her family will not have that. They want her to be with a Taiwanese man only, so yeah. This one is about a girl who works in an ice cream shop, and let's see. Yeah, it's like her final year, or it's her final summer at this ice cream shop, and the nephew of the owner, something like that, I think it's like the grandnephew, the grandnephew of the owner decides to come in and mess things up, you know, like he wants to take over. They have like a system down and he comes in and he takes over and he really ruins that. Yeah, it's, I have a feeling it's like a hate to love kind of trope, you know, they start to hate each other, or they hate each other at first, but then they start to fall in love. Something like that. I didn't get that very far. Both of these I only got like 50 pages in, realized they weren't for me. I just wasn't really liking where the story was heading, and the romance wasn't even really there yet, but I just knew I wasn't really gonna like it. So yeah, I DNF'd both of these. I actually DNF'd this one just last night. I just wasn't feeling either one of these, and I knew I could have like forced myself to keep going, but I didn't really want to. And I had put this one down for like a week. I finally went to go pick it back up, and I really just I still wasn't liking it. I skim read like another 50 pages to see if I would like it. I didn't. I also skim read a little bit of this to see if I would get to a place that I would like, because this one I was liking a lot more than this one. But yeah, it still just wasn't doing it for me, so I DNF'd both of these. There's an unhaul coming very soon, and these will both be in it, so I feel awful. They seemed like really good books. I really liked the premise. I just wasn't really liking where anything was heading. I know a lot of people probably really love both of these, but they're just not for me. Of course, the sirens come now. Every time. Okay, so the first book I actually read and completed in the first half of the month was Leah and the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. This is the sequel/companion to Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda, and you know how much I love that book so much. So this is like an actual sequel. It's still a companion, but it's more of a direct sequel to it, just because this one follows Leah and not Simon. But it follows them during their senior year, and they have to go through graduation and prom and all of that stuff. And it's just, oh my god. So in the first book, in Simon, you get a little bit of Leah, and in this one, you know, you get Leah. This is Leah's story, and you find out so much more about her than you did in the first one. Like, how she's bisexual, which that I didn't see. I mean, maybe I didn't really see it in the first novel. I mean, it didn't come up because she doesn't want any of her friends to know. She's only told her mother. So yeah, I mean, you find out she's bisexual. And, I mean, I'm really happy about that. I think she's a great character. I really love her. So I started really loving her right off the bat. I'm just like, I've always really liked Leah. Oh my god, this is falling apart. There were some parts that just really annoyed me. And I understand they're in high school, and this is like high school drama and everything. So there was moments where I was kind of annoyed. But Leah really, I just love her so much. There's one part in here where she stands up for someone. Someone makes a racist comment. And it's like one of her best friends, and they make a racist comment. No one from the gang. So if you've read Simon, it's no one from that gang. It's other friends that she knows. That, yeah, this friend makes a racist comment about someone that Leah knows, and it didn't even matter that Leah knew that person. Leah literally just stood up and started freaking telling her off. Telling her how racist that was, and how awful that was, and it was just so good. It was so good, and I loved it. And there was someone I shipped Leah with in the first book, and I was like really hoping that that would happen, and it starts to, but then you realize you don't want her shipped with that person. No. Leah starts to have feelings for another person, or at least they come up in this, and at first I wasn't really feeling it. I didn't really feel the chemistry between the two. But towards the end, I just started loving them, and I ship them wholeheartedly now. And in this book, I absolutely hate Nick. Just saying. I hate Nick. In the first book, in Simon, I thought he was, he really wasn't there all that much. At least, not that I cared. And he was just, whatever. It's Nick. Okay. But in this book, Nick just does things that just really annoy the hell out of me, and then he does something that just really pissed me off. So yeah, I hate Nick. Just saying. This I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. Next up, I read Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the novella set after Court of Rings and Ruin. Okay. So this is set during the winter solstice. They're celebrating it. It's also Feyre's birthday. You get a lot of Feyre and Rhysand, but you also get Morg and Amren and Cassian and all the other characters. You get POVs from Cassian and Morgan. I can't remember if there's anybody else, but for sure Cassian and Morgan. But mostly it's Feyre and Rhysand, because this is the last book that you really get their you really get more of their story. So I went into this knowing that this was just a novella, so it's only a couple hundred pages, and that this was pretty much a bridge book between Court of Rings and Ruin and then the next book that whenever it comes out. A lot of people didn't, I guess, understand that. Like, they didn't really get that when they started reading the book. At first, I've seen reviews of this, and a lot of people were saying how they thought this was going to be a full-length novel. But she literally said this is going to be a novella. Just saying. I know that for Tower of Dawn, she said that was going to be a novella, but she literally came out and said that was going to be a full-length novel. There's nothing she could do. About this one, though, she did clearly say it was going to be a novella. It's only a couple hundred pages. And I went into this knowing it was pretty much going to be a bridge book, because, it had to deal with the aftermath of Court of Rings to Ruin. It's like a year after, so they have to deal with the aftermath of that. And, it has to give you something to go into the next book. And it's perfectly fine. I loved it. I thought this was great. This is just them celebrating the winter solstice, them all coming together, and yeah, there were some things that was really kind of annoying. Like, there's a character that really annoys me. But I know in the next book that's going to come up more. So I was fine with it. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It's Sarah J. Maas. It's Fair and Resand. How can you not love this book? A lot of people I saw gave it 3 stars because it's only a little novella and it doesn't really have a lot of substance. But I'm like, I was fine with that. It's still Fair and Resand. It's all I wanted from them. I just wanted a little bit more of their story before I got nothing. Because the next book, yeah, you're going to see them come up every once in a while, but you're not going to really get anything out of them. So I was happy with a little bit more of them before nothing. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. And the next book I picked up was Starry by Jen Bennett. Jen Bennett wrote Alex Approximately, which I really liked. And, you know, when I found out about this book, I was really, really excited for it. This one is about, what are the names? Zori and Lennon. They used to be best friends, but then something happened a year back that split them apart. So now they're enemies. I don't exactly see them as enemies. I get that it was the only thing to call them, really. But they just avoid each other. They're not really enemies. Like, when I think of enemies, I'm thinking of someone who literally goes out of the way to make you feel awful. That's what I think of enemies. But, again, I understand that was probably the only phrase that you could work that in. You can't really say that they go from best friends to avoidances or something. So yeah, they go out of their way to avoid each other just because of what happened that last year. And Zori goes on this camping trip with her friends, and Lennon ends up going as well. They go, well, first it's a glamping trip, so it's like, it's not really camping, it's just, yeah, it's glamping. But then they decide to go backwoods camping, and Lennon is the one leading them, but then they get split from the other group, so it's just Zori and Lennon trying to get back to civilization. And so on that journey, of course, they are talking about what happened, and yeah, just everything that happened, and they're trying, you know, of course, they still have feelings for each other. Yeah, it's so good. I absolutely loved it. And when they were friends, they were growing into something more until that thing happened. You get from her perspective of what happened, of course. She tells you pretty much right off the bat what happened, but on the journey, he explains of what happened in his point of view, and oh my god, there's just some heartbreaking moments and some really beautiful moments, and it's so good. I absolutely love this. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I want to reread it now. Also, what I really loved is that Lennon would draw maps for them. So, like, you get maps throughout the story. Here. There's the last map. It's just like this one is their journey of everything that happened. It's called a 5-year journey. So, yeah, it's like hangouts that they had, stuff that happened in that journey that they had in the woods. It was just, this was so good. I absolutely loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. I really loved the romance. Alright, next up, I picked up The Burning Maze, Book 3 in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan. So because this is Book 3, I really can't go into anything that's happening because there's a lot of spoilers. But this is just following Apollo, who he got tossed out of Olympus by his father Zeus, because Apollo did something in the last series, and Zeus got upset, of course, and threw him out, threw him down to Earth, making him mortal, like a mortal 16-year-old boy with acne, named Lester. That's the worst part. And Lester is, he becomes sort of like a slave to Meg, who is of course, the daughter of Demeter. I can't remember exactly how that happened, because I was all in the first book. And they go on this quest to find the lost oracles. That's all I'm really going to say, because that's really all I can say. Of course, there's danger, and characters that we know from the last series are back. Really, some characters back. Percy, of course, is not throughout the series. You get a lot of the characters from the Percy Jackson series, as well as the Heroes of Olympus series. So you need to read Percy Jackson, then the Heroes of Olympus, and then this, because if you don't, if you read it all out of order, it just won't make sense, really. There's a lot of instances where they talk about the past, and it just won't make sense. I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4 stars. I preferred the first 2. I remember I gave those 5 stars. I thought those were a lot funnier. This one didn't really give me any, like, laugh out loud moments. I guess there was a couple that I can sort of remember, but that was it. Like, there really wasn't any others. But I did really enjoy it. I still really love Apollo and all the other characters. There's some really heartbreaking moments in this. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. There's something that happens in this that really hurt. And of course there's a 4th book. This isn't the end. There's another book. I don't remember, does it have a, I can't remember if it has a, The Tyrant's Tomb. That's book 4. So we shall see where everything leads then. But yeah, I gave this 4 stars. I thought it was really good. Okay, from then on, everything just went downhill. I picked up Gone Rogue by Marissa Meyer. This is volume 2 in the Wires and Nerve duology, so this is the conclusion. Again, I'm not really going to go into too much detail. This is just Aiko's story after what happened in winter, leading up to, like, right before the epilogue in Stars Above. So this is, like, that gap. And it's just Aiko hunting down rogue werewolves, you know, the lunar wolves. And yeah, there's really not a lot I can say, because again, spoilers for the first if you haven't seen it, but I preferred the first one. I gave this 3 stars. I wanted to like this one, but, and this is a conclusion too, I didn't really like how it all wrapped up. I just thought it was like, I felt like, I don't know how it could have been done better, but I just felt like it could have been. I just didn't really care for it, and it just seemed to wrap up. It was really rushed, and again, I didn't really care for the ending. I didn't really care for any of it, really. There were some moments that I was like, oh, this is pretty good, but yeah. Other than that, the whole book was just, I gave it 3 stars. I preferred the first one. I think on the first one I gave it 4 stars, but, sorry. Next up, I picked up I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. This is my 12 books to read in 2018. This is one of the 12. And I was really super excited for this. But, and when I first picked it up, it was really good. But I just felt that... Alright, so let's talk about what this is about. This is about a girl, what's her name? Desi. It's about a girl named Desi who just sucks at flirting with guys. She literally fails at it, because every time she starts to flirt with a guy, something happens that she does. Like, one guy, they were in a Taekwondo class, and she kicked him right in the nuts, or she punched him in the nuts, something like that. Recently, she, oh, what was it? Did she throw up on a guy? Yeah, that was one. Or no, she coughed really bad. She hacked up a long run on his shirt. And then the guy she's actually trying to go for, she pants herself right in front of him. I'm telling you, she's awful. So she decides to take, like, dating advice from, or dating guidance from K-dramas. She decides to write, like, a step-by-step list to guide herself into, like, not making a fool out of herself in front of the guy she likes. And at first, I mean, it was fine, but throughout the book and throughout all the steps she was taking, it just seemed too extreme. One of the things she did was causing a car accident with them in the car, just so they could have, like, a moment together. It's like, did you really have to cause a car accident? I mean, all she did was have nails on the, you know, on the street and popped his tires. But still, did you really have to go to that extreme? It just, I don't know. it was good at first. I was really liking it, and I really liked how it ended. I liked how it wrapped up. It just seemed too much at times. So I gave this 3 stars. Yeah. I really wanted to love it, but it was so good. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. But I do like is that at the end it gives you like an ultimate K-drama starter guide. So it tells you like some K-dramas to start with, depending on like what you're really in the mood for. So I thought that was really nice, and I still want to give Morning-gu another chance. She has another book out that just came out like this month, and I really want to get it. So I am going to read more from her. This one didn't wow me as much as I wanted it to. And the last book that I have to talk about is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. Again, this is another one that I really, really wanted to love. And it's just about two people, Penny and Sam, who meet, and it's not too much of a meet cute, more of a, collision of unbearable awkwardness. Penny finds Sam, like on the side of a road, thinking he's having a heart attack, and she takes care of him, the way that she does, and they, exchange numbers, and they become really good friends over text and over the phone. They're really great over the phone, like over texting or calling or, yeah. But face-to-face is not good for them. I really wanted to love this, and I really loved the texting, and when they're on the phone together. That was really great. The moments that they were texting each other, I loved. But the rest of the book just fell completely flat. I didn't really like the characters. Like, I liked Sam when it was just Sam, but when it was Penny, I really wasn't caring for her as much. Penny is in a writing class in college, and you get bits of her story. Yeah, let me see if I can find one. Oh my god. No, of course. But yeah, you get bits of her story, and it just... I didn't care for that. I skipped. Yeah, so, here. It's like, I don't know if you could tell, but this is, like, her story. Like, they just give you, like, paragraphs of what she's writing. And I just didn't care for it. I was really bored. I skipped those completely because I just wasn't caring at all for that. And then all the other characters are just, eh. I just didn't really care for any of the rest of the story. I just really liked when they were texting each other. I thought they were really great then, but that was it. So I gave this 2 stars. It just really fell flat for me. And I know a lot of other people really enjoyed this, but it just wasn't for me. So. Okay, so those are all the books that I read in the first couple weeks of May. I also am reading The Traitor Prince by C.J. Redwine. This is the one I'm currently reading. I'm enjoying it. I'm not that far in. I just started it this morning, but I'm really enjoying it. I really love this series, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, this is the first book I will have to show you in the next wrap-up that I place. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books or interested in any of these books, comment me down below and we can start up a conversation. But yeah, so that's all for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again with another video. Happy reading. Bye.